What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about some more of the big changes that are coming with the February 22nd update. We already talked about Vurhonga Savanna in detail, and in this video, we're going to get into talking more about Cuatro Colinas, another one of the 4 maps that is getting some huge changes with this update in the Hunter Call of the Wild. If you didn't see the first video about Vurhonga Savanna, the link will be down below in the description. Drop a thumbs up on the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, but without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. Alright guys, Cuatro Colinas, my beloved Cuatro Colinas. I thought it was a little bit weird that this was one of the 4 maps that is getting the big performance enhancements, the big changes, the change to the home ranges and the populations and the animal behavior and everything that is apparently coming with this February 22nd update. I thought it was a little bit weird that Cuatro was on that list because to me, this is one of the better working maps, but there are some things that could change here for the better, and we're going to get into a little bit of that in this video. If you guys are curious about all of the changes that are coming with this update, I did a video on all of the patch notes. I'm going to put that in the description as well, talking about just all the patch notes. There is a big weapon DLC coming at the same time, so February 22nd is the date. Also, if you didn't know, early access is coming for the official content creators. That's going to start on Friday, this Friday, February 18th, and I will have early access for the weekend. The beta creator early access will go from Friday the 18th to Tuesday the 22nd, when the DLC and the big update is going to be released into the full game for everybody. So that's super cool. Cuatro Colinas in particular, there are a few things that I want to talk about as far as what might be changing. Also, if you didn't see the Vurhonga Savanna video, I did this video already on Vurhonga. I'm going to be doing one on all 4 of the maps. Check out the Vurhonga one, link in the description. But I want to bring up the map here, and I want to look at just a few things pertaining to Cuatro Colinas that I expect might change, and a few things that I kind of hope will change. But the first thing that I want to mention just right off the bat here is I want to talk about the Ibex. Now, since Cuatro Colinas was released, the Ibex all reside in the 4 quadrants of the map, as most of you guys know, right? We've got on the left top corner, we've got the Besit Ibex. To the east from them, we've got the Ronda Ibex, and then down in the bottom left corner, the bottom southwest of the map, we've got the Greatos Ibex, and then on the bottom right, the southeastern Spanish Ibex. And it's always been that way, and it works great that way. I love it that way. I'm curious to know if, with the home ranges changing and everything that they are saying is going to change with this big kind of change that they're doing, and it's going to be similar to what happened in Layton. And we know what happened in Layton, schedule changes to the Roosevelt Elk, the Blacktail in particular. They really changed. Their home ranges really changed. You really do find them in different places of the map. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Ibex change. The 4 quadrant thing really makes sense. It's going to be interesting to see if maybe that means that they're going to be more mixed up, like just more random on the map. Maybe each of the species will be kind of more spread out around the map. It's kind of weird to think about because Cuatro Colinas, as we know it, we've always known it with the Ibex kind of having their own, spot on one corner of the map. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe that's going to change. Maybe we're going to have more Ibex along the river. Maybe we're going to have more species in general along the river, rather than mostly like, roe deer and red deer and lots of rabbits. One thing that I hope doesn't change in Cuatro, I hope they don't change, with the exception of the wolves. I would love to see wolves drinking during the day. That would be really, really cool. But other than that, I really like the drink times, the zone times. I like the way that's all set up and structured in Cuatro, so I'm hoping that doesn't change very much. Other than the Iberian wolves maybe drinking during the day, I hope it stays the way that it is. I love it that the mouflon and the red deer drink early, and then you've got the Ibex that come in. The main thing that I hope does change, and I said this about Vurhonga as well, and it's exactly the same for all 4 of the maps, and for really every map in the game, the main thing that I want to see is more randomization. When you go to a lake, if I go to hunt roe deer, let's say I go to this lake over here to hunt roe deer at 6:30 in the morning, it would be nice to not know whether to expect all females or all males, or if I'm going to see herds of animals, or if I'm going to see solo animals kind of peppered around the outside of the lake. It would be really nice to just to kind of know that they're going to be there, but not really know what to expect. Is there going to be males and females? Is there just going to be females? To have it a little bit more random. This lake in particular, the one that I pointed out, is pretty much always all female roe deer now. Same with this lake down in the bottom right that used to be really good for roe deer and for red deer. Pretty much all females there now. You do get a few stags over there, but for roe deer, I think I've only seen females there for a really long time. It's going to be interesting to see if this kind of top right lake remains such an amazing hotspot for red deer, roe deer, Iberian wolves. It'll be nice to see if the Ibex kind of come back there. I do once in a while still see the Rondas up here, just the one herd. But Rondas really only have, I mean, they share that lake, but they really just kind of have these two lakes. So it'll be nice to see if they kind of move around. Maybe more Rondas at the river, maybe more Rondas here, and maybe they'll work their way kind of over this way, maybe even up to there with the roe deer and the mouflon and the red deer that hang out up at that lake. It'll be nice to see if the Ibex do spread out a little bit more, right? Rather than kind of keeping close into each corner. Maybe they'll kind of spread out further. Maybe if they do kind of still stay in those 4 quadrants, they kind of make their way into the middle of the map a little bit more, and maybe we'll see some more lakes, maybe parts of the river where we have 2 types of Ibex, rather than just the 1 or 2 spots right now that kind of have that going on. Behavioral changes. As far as the behavioral changes, I find Cuatro is really good as far as animals showing up on time at their zones and that sort of thing. So I'm not expecting huge changes to the way they behave, other than whatever it is that they're changing just in general for all of the species on all of these maps. Not a huge concern for me with Cuatro. Like I said, Cuatro Colinas is probably, for me, in my opinion, one of the better working maps in the game. These changes would be amazing on maps like Silver Ridge Peaks, Medved Taiga. Could really use it as well. Hirschfelden obviously needs some work. Hopefully that will come one day in the future, and Hirschfelden will be a relevant map again. Another thing we could definitely talk about when it comes to Cuatro Colinas are the mouflon. The mouflon, let me know if it's just me. Is it just me? Let me know down in the comments if it's just me. But it kind of feels like the mouflon are a little bit overpopulated. They're kind of everywhere on the map. Pretty much any lake that you go to early in the morning, whether you're hunting red deer or roe deer, or if you're hunting mouflon, you're gonna pretty much find them everywhere. Big herds, males and females mixed for the most part. There's a few spots up here you've got only females sometimes. Sometimes at this lake I see only females in certain spots. But mouflon, probably one of the only species in the game, really, and definitely the only species that are kind of like that, other than red deer. Red deer are really good on Cuatro. We're going to talk more about red deer, but the mouflon, it'll be interesting to see if the population is thinned out maybe a little bit. Maybe mouflon won't be at every single lake in the morning, maybe less males, but it is nice the way that mouflon are kind of very mixed when it comes to males and females. I really like that about the mouflon. So maybe the other animals will kind of take after them in that way. But red deer, we do have to talk about red deer. There is a great one on Cuatro Colinas. That is a big deal. I hope the timing doesn't change for the red deer. If the red deer start drinking at night or something in Cuatro, that's going to completely change everything as far as that great one grind goes. One thing I would say I hope does change with the red deer is just that top right lake. I would like to see that thinned out a little bit. I'd like to see some of those red deer at some of the other lakes, where you're either just seeing females or you're just seeing a few solo stags, and that's kind of it. But really, I really do like the Cuatro Colinas great one grind. I really like it for red deer. The only other thing that I would change is maybe separate the wolves, especially if the wolves are going to drink in the morning. That's kind of the issue too. I kind of want to see the wolves drinking like afternoon, late afternoon. I definitely don't want them drinking when the red deer are drinking. And maybe if there's some way that we could kind of keep the wolves maybe a little bit further away from the lakes when the other species are drinking, especially the red deer, that would just really optimize the great one grind in Cuatro. And I think for a lot of people that do prefer either Parquet or Tiara over Cuatro Colinas for the red deer grind, I think a big part of that is the wolves kind of spooking them away from their drink zones. But yeah, that's a big one for me for sure. If we could have wolves drinking during the daytime, that would be really, really cool. Maybe like a late afternoon. I think Scarecrow and I were saying this yesterday. Maybe like a late afternoon drink time where they start at like 16, 17, 18, and then kind of drink into the night, right? So you kind of got some daytime to hunt them too. As far as the rabbits go, I don't have any issue. I don't have any quarrel with the rabbits, the way the rabbits work. I think they're really good on Cuatro. I don't really see any need for any change there, except maybe kind of spread them out from the middle of the map, maybe take them away from the river a little bit, but really I don't really have any problem with the rabbits at all. I don't see any necessary changes for that. That pretty much covers everything that I wanted to talk about with Cuatro as far as these changes that are coming. It's going to be interesting to see what does change, if any of the schedules change. I really do want to see more animals along the river. I want to see Ibex along the river as well. Maybe they'll add a couple more of the point-to-point transportation locations along the river in Cuatro. That would be pretty cool. Like I said, in Vurhonga, more randomization, less predictability, more randomization with the males and females, less kind of knowing exactly what to expect when you go somewhere to hunt a specific species when they're either drinking or feeding or resting. But other than that, Cuatro Colinas, one of my favorite maps in the Hunter Call of the Wild. Hopefully it's only going to get better. If you enjoyed this video, do drop a like on it. Check out the Vurhonga Savanna video if you haven't already. The link to that is down in the description. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the road to 25,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be safe, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.